Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel.
Who is that they, them on my screen?
Hey everybody, hi, hello! I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and as we head into the last full week of Pride Month, I hope you're all having a wonderful Pride. I don't think I ever made an official announcement on the YouTubies, on the YouTube channel. I certainly announced that I came out with a new merch store. I haven't had one in a while. But I got some requests to have the old I'm Gay Not Stupid. This is slightly different, as in, like, this is bigger than I think I ever had it on any shirt or merch previously. And I also thought it would be fun to release some other stuff for Pride Month, so you can also get a shirt. You might have seen me wearing it in a previous video. That says, "Who's that they, them" on my shirt, and it's got a little cutesy picture of me on it. So I know that might not be everybody's gig, but if you want to celebrate Pride, there's still time to get that before the end of Pride Month. Although I don't know delivery-wise, like, if it'll make it to you before the end of Pride Month. But we can also celebrate being gay, queer, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, all the letters of the alphabet that are so important to our community. We can celebrate that year-round if you want. It's not just limited to June. Although we are especially gay this month, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I'll leave a link down below, but otherwise it's zacharymichael.dashery.com for all of my merch if you're interested. I also am going to spend a little bit of time today catching up with Rosie Marie. Not Rosie Marie, Rosie Lynn Reed. We're checking in on Quirky Love Rosie today. She did like 3 different streams in total, I think, over the weekend, something like that. And I did just briefly put a hee hee ha ha up from a short brief time that I watched her on Twitch last Thursday. You can always come join us over at Twitch. It's twitch.tv/thezacharymike. No pressure. We don't often talk about Rosie, Amberlynn, or Chantal in there, but that day I had a little bit of extra time left over on stream, and she was live streaming, so we just checked out what she was doing. I think the edit today will have some of that in there. Some programming announcements that I just want to make real quick before I shut the fuck up and we get to. With some programming announcements, heard the feedback on speeding her up in the last video, and it was hard for some people to listen to. And as somebody who often doesn't speed up any of my content, like in my personal listening, I totally understand. This may just be a really long video today because the edit I have is 31 minutes long again, but I'm not going to speed her up because I heard you loud and clear. There were lots of people that gave that feedback, so thank you so much for letting me know. And then the only other thing is I always make a point to credit and give thanks to anybody who helps me with content for my channel. And specifically, one of my moderators from Twitch and my Discord community, Jane, does a ton of help in terms of editing down streams from Rosie for me to react to so that I can watch them all firsthand, things like that. And I do that mostly because I am really, truly grateful for all the people that help. You might notice that in the past, I've thanked other content creators for putting together edits and compilations and things like that. I've always made it a point to credit where I'm getting something from, if it's like a receipt or things like that, if I wasn't the first one to receive the receipt. And I just do that because a long time ago on YouTube, people would suggest that I was like stealing like screen recordings and stuff like that from people, and oftentimes I would just get sent things in my DMs from various people who watch who just wanted to make sure that I knew about stuff. And because of that, I've just started crediting those people so that, like, I'm being transparent in where I'm getting this from. I think that also speaks to things like when Rosie gets upset that things are cherry picked or things like that. I can be clear about who's doing the cherry picking. Not that I question Jane's ability to adequately like supply the relevant context and things like that, but to say, like, listen, I'm being upfront. I've never tried to like hide that I'm not including all 1,200 hours that Rosie is streaming in my reactions and things like that. I'm really grateful for Jane, and I say that a lot because she also sometimes helps out with some stuff that I react to on Twitch and things like that. I'm grateful for all of my moderator team. They all help in different ways, to different extents. Some of them do a little bit more than others, and all of them volunteered to do moderator gigs and duties and things like that. Nobody is being held at gunpoint or anything like that to do this. And to be quite honest, when it comes to Jane, she just started doing a lot of these edits because she was watching Rosie's content anyways and offered to edit them down and would send me edited down versions. I have actually, in more recent history, offered to pay her for her time because obviously she's such a huge help to me. You know, like, quite frankly, I don't know if that's anybody's particular business on what the details of that look like between me and Jane. But that is to say, I'm really grateful. It's very helpful for me to get to give the content that people like the most from me, which is like genuine first-time reactions, if I don't have to go through Rosie's content to edit it down to something that's more palatable for me. I've never claimed to be anything more than just like somebody who sits here and watches stuff and has a hee hee ha ha, and I'm very grateful that I have a community of people that want to help support me. I know that probably feels like a little bit weird to people because I feel like maybe it feels like I'm not doing a lot of work or whatever. I'm not in any competition to like do the most work ever or like act like my job is really hard or things like that. I certainly think that there's something that I bring to the table with or without edits that keeps people coming back, but I'm fully aware that I have a lot of people who are integral to me making great content, and I make sure to let them know frequently, and that's also part of the reason that I always give them a shout out and give them credits and things like that. Similarly, like I have people who do a little bit less work than that, like who vet videos for me to watch on Twitch, and people who have volunteered their time to like help make graphics for merch or emotes for my Twitch channel and my Discord and things like that. And I just want to be clear, I'm grateful for them all. I should also say shout out to Mallard, who is the person who's been editing my shorts for TikTok and YouTube shorts and Instagram reels, and I do pay her as well. Like that is, she gets compensated for all of that work. So anyways, I just wanted to say all that because I think most people were asking from a good place. Some people were asking from a really snarky place. From like a really like, it feels like you're being a little passive aggressive about Jane's involvement here, but I just want to be clear that I really do appreciate Jane, and I think she is an all-star and super helpful, and as long as she wants to continue helping me, I'll make sure she is, one, compensated, and two, that she enjoys doing it and isn't being held by gunpoint or anything like that to do it for me. So just want to make sure you all know that Jane is good. Okay, sound good? All right, oh my gosh, this is already gonna be so long, and I spent the first like 9 minutes of this video yapping about that. But y'all say you like the long ones, so grab your Dunkin' Lattes or whatever drink you're getting. I was like, am I exposing myself? I always get nervous that I'm gonna expose myself on the like drink order tags, but I got my Dunkin' Latte, I got Rosie, and the edit done by Jane pulled up, so I really am gonna shut the fuck up. Let's get to. Alright, so it does look like this very first clip is coming from the live stream that I did kind of like briefly pop into on my Twitch stream. So I think Jane specifically left some of the stuff I already covered out. But just so you know, I have seen a few different parts of this. I also think she might complain about Remy and Remy's professor or something like that, and I have already seen parts of that, and I do have thoughts and feelings about it, but I'll just let her get to it before we get to that. So I really am gonna shut up and we're gonna start.
I took some business calls. Sukoshi, I hung out with my boyfriend because...
Business calls about what, Diva? Sorry, I know that's a quick pause, but what kind of business calls is she taking? You got another documentary you're going to be interviewed for where you're going to make it all about you, Diva?
It is our 5 months today. Poor guy.
I'm so obsessed with the girls celebrating and making a big deal out of like individual months of anniversaries and things like that. It's like when Amber Lynn celebrated her talkiversary or whatever with Emily.
This one professor, this woman is giving that class literally like two and a half, maybe even like 3 classes worth of work in 1 week. Like, it's so bad. Like, today he was so anxious. Like, he's currently taking a nap, so whenever he wakes up from that, he's probably going to get back to working on his schoolwork. Like, because it wasn't just the 2 papers. She also assigned like an hour-long podcast and questions to answer about the podcast and like 2 other assignments all in the same week. And I'm just like, you poor guy. Like, he's making it work, and like, it's fine, but like, he's gonna kick ass like he always does. But he's stressed, and I don't.
Okay, a few things. One, I told you I already had thoughts about this. One, I infamously worked in higher education and have 2 degrees. And so what I'm here to tell you from my experience, both as somebody who worked at colleges and as somebody who spent a lot of time taking classes, summer classes are always accelerated, and anybody who has gone to college and chosen to take summer classes could tell you that. You choose to take summer classes knowing that the courses will be accelerated, that you're probably going to be putting in a lot more work, because the time frame for the classes is shorter, but you're still getting the same number of credits you would get if you took a class in the fall or in the spring semesters. So first of all, there's that. Second of all, what she just explained there, maybe it's because I've experienced grad school where there's just a ton of work to do all the time, and it is much different than going to undergrad usually, but the amount of work she just explained there or described there does not sound like an unreasonable amount of work. And 3, as far as I know, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but Remington Bolt Action Rifle III doesn't even have a job outside of going to class, which is fine. I think that's okay for a college student, like if you're able to prioritize just going to school. But that is to say, if that's the only thing that he has to do, then he should treat it like a job, and it should be a lot of work. Like the number of people who are probably doing summer classes while also working part-time or full-time jobs, like I think Remy's gonna be able to figure it out. He's a single man, no kids to take care of. He's got 2 cats, which cats can be pretty hands-off, so it's not like, he has a lot of things standing in his way outside of apparently spending 24 hours a day on a voice chat with you in Discord. So what it really sounds like is that you're just upset that it's taking time away from you. So I don't know what to tell you, Rosie. Also, have you gone to college, Rosie? In general, college is just a lot of hard work. It just takes time, which is why I'm always here to celebrate people who prioritize, expanding their education, learning. I know that like college isn't accessible to everybody, and so I really value people who spend time, resources, energy, money, etc. on trying to further their education. So, anyways, sorry. I'll try to keep it chill.
Blame him. He realized it was the same professor that he had that issue with, because he had her like in a not summer semester, and it's a summer semester now, so she like took the coursework of like a regular fall spring semester and like took all the work that's spread over like a certain amount of weeks to like half the time. Yes.
Well, yes, that's how it works. Oh, here's somebody commenting. Summer semesters are always super condensed.
Summer semesters are super condensed. That's very true. Yeah. The way I would give a bad rate my professor rating so fast, I told him to do that. Thank you for the happy 5 months.
I told him to do that. That's just like, listen, having also seen people just be crazy on Rate My Professor, it wouldn't surprise me, to see something like that. I think it's silly. It's giving Karen energy. Because also, what do you mean he's had a class with this professor before? Like, it sounds like he should have known what to expect outside of, like, it being condensed into a smaller time frame. Like, I don't know. Just sounds like Rosie's upset that that Remy isn't able to give all of his time to her.
Feel for the guy, and I'm just like I'm here for you, like whatever I can do to make you smile or whatever.
Well, you're not here for him because you're in Florida and he's in Texas, and you just are in a voice chat for him, I think is what you mean.
Whatever I can do to help.
Havy Wavy says, I remember watching your live like around a year ago, and you said you had like a stalker or something. Like what happened with that? Also, this is the Willie Nelson branded like THC infused juice stuff that she's been making drinks out of and getting real high in her live streams.
I mean, he sent something to my house yesterday. So, there's that.
He says, I don't know why she keeps bringing it up. Why? Rosie ain't never gonna fucking learn about this. Also, though, I think I did end up talking a little bit about that in the Twitch stream thing, because she does go on to talk about it more.
It wasn't even live when it happened, but, whatever. Probably like the 10th time, though. I don't know. I lost count. I didn't document a few of them in the beginning when I kind of wish I had. What other choice do I have besides to just cry about it and be upset? Like, what else am I gonna do? Yeah.
Sure.
Why do you see my boyfriend instead of Remy? I mean, Remy's not his real name. I call him Remy on the internet, and I'll refer to him as Remy sometimes, but he's my boyfriend. He's my boyfriend.
She's got a boyfriend, y'all! Did you know? Have you heard? Did you hear? Oh, I just heard.
And when he's my husband, I'll call him my husband. He's my boyfriend. So
not when he's my husband. Okay, all right. I see where we're going, Rosie. I see where we're going.
You know what I mean? It's just, Remy boy is. I wonder if he's still napping. I'm gonna go peek my head at my room and see if he's still sleeping. 1 second.
He's just napping in a Discord call while you're yapping. I love how she's like, I'm gonna go peek my head in my bedroom. He doesn't live with her. What she's going to do is going to check in Discord to see if he's still asleep. That is what she's doing. She made it sound like he's just chilling, taking a nap in her bedroom. Please be so serious.
Okay. He is getting ready to do his schoolwork. Well, I was like, wait, did he have a camera on him as he sleeps? He just was in the Discord call on his phone. He turns the camera off when he's sleeping. Prevent overheating. Oh, he's not visiting, unfortunately. God, I wish.
Oh, people really did think that he was there. That's so funny. Do you think 2027 is the year we won't have to hear the word vibes anymore? That's what Juniper in the chat asked.
Have to hear the word vibes anymore? Nope. Because you know what? It's 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, and onward. We fucking vibing, dog. You make an amazing therapist or life coach. You know how many times,
girl,
I've been told that, like,
Could you imagine? Could you imagine Rosie Lynn Reed? Could you imagine Rosie Lynn Reed as your therapist? Frightening. Terrifying. Terrifying. Popping in for a quick chat, and you just want to talk about whatever happened to you that week, and she goes, well, what about my trauma? What about my issues? What about my issues and trauma?
Ideally, I think I'm someone who would really love being a therapist, but there's a lot more to being a therapist than just, like, giving life advice and helping people. Like, you have to not only deal with all the insurance side of all these, deal with, like, a lot of the darkness, you deal with your own crap on top of managing everyone else's stress and not taking it on as your own, and I'm just not sure how I would handle that. But I feel like there's...
I love how she's talking like an expert in what it takes to be a therapist, as if she has any idea.
there's a lot of ways in which I would love to like have a psychology degree and do some kind of work like that with people in some capacity, but I would need to get my shit together in a lot more way before I'm giving other people advice on how to live and charging them for it, you know? That's how I feel.
Well, also just being a therapist would require Rosie to do anything. It would require a lot more work than I think she's willing to put in, just to be clear. As somebody who has people who are friends that are therapists in my life and knowing the amount of work that they put into getting to that level, it's just like, ain't no way Rosie putting in that level of effort, work, resources, energy. If it's not in a Mel Robbins book, she ain't reading it, you know?
I just do a lot of therapy. Yeah, me too. I've been in therapy for so long. I think that's part of the reason how I've learned a lot of these things and learned about these different modalities.
Being in therapy, being in therapy is not equitable or equal to, knowing how to be a therapist. That's how I learned all these modalities. Girl, please be serious. You learn some words from TikTok. At best. At best, girl. You can't come on here and be like, I've been in therapy for so long and that's why I know how to talk about therapy and blah, 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 blah. No. Like, just focus on practicing those things first, maybe. She's irrigating.
And through my spiritual practice and, like, my own relationship with manifestation and, I was just talking about it yesterday, meditation and those types of coping skills, writing/journaling, big one. I think it's just being in alignment with yourself is I feel like almost a day-to-day thing, but I do feel like beyond the day-to-day alignment, there is like an overall alignment of self that can be more focused on.
I'm sorry. I just listening to her talk about like, I don't know, all of this manifestation, journaling, being in alignment with herself. Girl, I would maybe be interested in listening to you if I felt like you were somebody who seemed to have their mental health together, but it's so clear that you don't. I do not know why you are sitting here yapping about words you picked up from probably YouTube videos and TikToks. Like, I just do not care to listen to you, and I'm just gonna push play and let you yap through this, because I just can't do it. I just cannot.
The THC's starting to hit, so I might start getting a little more spacey and not being as put together with my thoughts. Just disclaimer moving forward. Because before this moment, I was a lot more focused, and I already kind of forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, right before this moment, when you started yapping about, like, you were some kind of expert in therapy.
I'm realizing, oh shit, it's hitting! We hitting, folks. Exactly. My therapist told me I'd make an excellent therapist, but I told him I'm too much of an empath, and I would not be able to handle anyone else's struggles on top of my own. I think like with certain boundaries, there's a way I could do it, but I just don't.
She has no boundaries. If what she's concerned about is boundaries, then she needs to stay far away from the role of therapist, because actually that is such an important part of being a therapist. Again, having talked to some of my friends who are in that role, who have done that, is like having boundaries between yourself and your clients and things like that, and there ain't no way. Also, mind you, I'm just thinking about some of the like fucked up things that Rosie shared about other people from even just like in the past her time of being in like psych wards and things like that, when she would just like overshare about the people she met in those places. You know, her ass would come running to the internet talking about her clients. Like, it just, Rosie as a therapist sounds like a actual nightmare.
You know, like the amount of clients one would need to see to make that like financially worth it and all of that. And also, I wouldn't want to charge people an arm and a leg, and it's just hard. But also, I really do genuinely believe that I need to get more of my shit together before
I'm obsessed that we're hypothetically talking about Rosie being a therapist when we can't even hypothetically talk about Rosie getting a job. Rosie just the other day in a live stream was like, I just couldn't ever work a job because I need the accommodations and I wouldn't be able to get the accommodations I need and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. It's just like, you don't even want to get a job you're qualified for. Why are we talking about hypothetical situations where you could be a therapist? Please be so fucking serious.
I'm forced to give other people advice. Also, with my digital footprint, I don't know.
I'm curious what part of her digital footprint she thinks makes her unemployable as a therapist, because I do think that there are aspects of, like, I don't know, there's surely people who have done sex work and things like that have transitioned into different types of jobs and stuff. I would say the more concerning parts of her digital footprint, to me at least, because, like, also think about how helpful it could be to have the perspective of somebody who's experienced feederism, sex work, etc., and potentially helping other people work through their trauma and things like that. If it wasn't Rosie, let's start there. If it wasn't Rosie, but so that's why I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't think that for me would necessarily be a deal breaker. I think the way that she talks on the internet and on her YouTube channel, I think those are the larger issues. I think even just the 2 to 3 weeks where she's sitting out here yapping. Well, also, I should say, knowing some of her adult content, maybe some of that would be. Like the Matilda thing where she was like cosplaying a child in an adult content setting. I think actually is probably a red flag now that I'm pondering through it. But also, I would say even just the like 2 to 3 weeks after the announcement of the trailer for the documentary that she was in, I think even just her behavior then would be a huge red flag for being a therapist.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yikes.
Oh God. No, wait, I saw this somewhere too. Oh God. First of all, so this is like a huge ass bowl. She's been on a ramen kick lately. Just shit tons of ramen. The sodium out of control, I'm sure, for her. And this bowl is like literally bigger than her head. So that's crazy to me. But second of all, she puts this sweet potato in and it looks like a fucking turd. Okay, so I guess I've seen more of this stream than I realized, but I promise you there's more content on its way that I haven't seen yet. Like, look at this turd!
Try something that I've never done.
Wait, why are... First of all, I sometimes eat potatoes and sweet potatoes both with the skin on them. I would never just take a bite of the skin by itself. Why would you do such a thing? Jesus Christ.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
At least this is members only. You know?
Oh, okay. So we are now transitioning into the members only video she did, which I should say, I don't know if I read through this in the Twitch stream or not, but she actually, this was supposed to be her Friday members only live stream. And she was like, "Oh, I'm just so busy. A scheduling conflict came up, so I can't do my members only live stream." Which is like, what kind of scheduling conflict? Again, what do you do all day besides sit in a voice chat with Remington Bolt Action Rifle the Third? But this is her members only content that she did on Saturday instead. Oh, and she was like, I'm gonna try to do something on Saturday as long as I'm not sick, as long as I'm not ill. What do you mean? Why are we already predicting that we might be? Anyways, she did end up doing a Saturday members only live stream. I haven't seen any of this.
What the fuck ever? I just went like, I'm running late, but I'm coming. It's gonna take me like less than 5 minutes.
Also, what is this angle?
Quite a day, to be quite honest with you. The reason why I was running late is because, like, I was in denial. A pain flare started for me on, like, Thursday. / Friday, whenever all that was happening. Really pissed off about it. Like, I'm really mad. I don't want to cancel again. You're reading things about my experience on the internet.
So why didn't she say on Friday that she canceled because of a pain flare? I don't know. And again, we were sitting over here talking about a hypothetical situation where she could be a therapist someday. A girl can't even come and sit in the same spot that she probably sits in all day, every day anyways, to do a simple members only live stream. Her literal only obligation for her business on YouTube. like listen, I'm not trying to sit over here act like what anybody does on the internet is particularly hard, myself included. Okay, I'm not, and it's also not a competition, right? Like, I am obviously in a different place in my life than Rosie is, so just because I can do something doesn't mean that Rosie can. But damn, we just spent all of that time having these hypothetical conversations. You're like, well, I had a pain flare, so, you know, I couldn't get on camera and live stream for like an hour or two. That's not to say she's not in pain or anything. It's just to say that, like, and I don't know what world Rosie thinks that, like, she'd be able to do that literally anywhere else, you know? Like, it just isn't the case. There's so many people in the world who have to work through that stuff, which is to say that Rosie should appreciate the, like, luxury and privilege that she has in this situation, that she's able to do those things.
It's how quite literally thousands of people believe that, like, I just want to be lazy and, like, not do shit with my life and all this stuff, and I all like that whole rhetoric narrative because I'm just, like, honest and transparent about how I'm disabled and how I'm sick.
I do think she's correct that there are some people that just strictly think she's lazy. I think the part where she's not, like, putting two and two together is that a lot of people also come to those opinions because, for better or worse, and I don't always agree with this, okay? Because I think a lot of times people try to compare themselves to the YouTubers they watch and things like that, and they're like, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. But the reality is that's like where a lot of people are coming from when it's Rosie. There are lots of people out there that actually have the diagnosis that she claims she has, who still go to work, who still find ways to show up for things in their lives, who leave their house, who go and see their families, who have to take care of children, who have to go outside and walk their dogs, take care of other pets and things like that. Like, there are all these people who watch, who are in those positions, and then I think they get frustrated because it's like, well, I wish I could. I wish I could do. Which, like, to be fair, maybe they could. Maybe if they're willing to put themselves in the cringe position that Rosie's in, like, maybe you two could also put in little effort into live streaming and and complain about your pain every day. I don't know. But I think sometimes that's the missed part. And, like, I try my best to understand that, too. Like, I was just listening to Peter Mon do a video today where he was talking about, like, changing your perspective to, like, I get to come onto the internet every day, or I get to do this thing every day that maybe other people don't get to do. And I don't want to say, like, I think that's, like, a little, I don't think Peter's being, like, toxically optimistic in that, but I think, like, it could be, right? Because I think that takes away a lot from like the idea of, like, yeah, also people struggle and people do have complaints and not every day is sunshine and roses. But I do think there's some level of that energy that Rosie could benefit from if she changed her perspective. I mean, she's over here reading the Let Them book by Mel Robbins, which is just, like, total garbage anyways, right? Right? I just watched a podcast about Mel Robbins by Matt Bernstein. It's the A Bit Fruity podcast where he kind of, like, exposes her for being a grifter. So that's, like, where a lot of those thoughts and feelings about Mel Robbins and the Let Them theory are coming from. But all of that to say is, like, I think if she changed her perspective a bit to, like, wow, like, I'm so fortunate that I get to come here and I get to do these live streams. And I do get to share a little bit about my struggles and things like that, but it's just always like, my haters, nobody understands, nobody gets it. It's like, no, you are so lucky, Rosie. You get to come onto the internet and this is all you have to do. You get to do that. What a privilege for you to get to come onto the internet and connect with people who allegedly like watching your content and enough so that they pay for members-only content from you. You know? I don't know. Just a thought. I know she doesn't want advice from, like, haters like me, but it is what it is.
I'm not pretending that things are fine now. I'm not, like, downplaying. I'm just hoping. Because there's even issues that I don't fully know or understand because I just don't have.
Also, there is music in the background, and or also I'm quite aware that her audio is just sucky in general. I think Jane did give me a heads up. Not I think, I know. I know Jane did give me a heads up. She tried to edit around the music and stuff because Rosie does play like copywritten music during her members only live streams because she's not getting AdSense from them anyways.
I haven't been able to keep insurance long enough to figure it out since it's happening in the live.
You would think though, you would think since she's aware that her audio is so shitty, you would think that she'd be like, well, let me not introduce another layer that's going to make it difficult to hear what I have to say, but I digress. Bonus Sandwich says, yeah, like, I don't think moving the live tonight was a big deal. If anything, you're still streaming.
If anything, you're still streaming. That's what I'm saying. Tell me, why do they even care? They aren't members. That's what I'm saying. It's because they're trying to exert some kind of power over me. It's very weird. It's very creepy. And it's just another way to try to villainize me.
I mean, I think it's okay to have discourse about it. Do I think Rosie's the worst person in the world because she canceled a live stream and moved it to a different day? No. But do I think it's fair to critique her for it? Yeah. Ultimately, at the end of the day, am I a paying member of Rosie's who's really counting on that content? No. At the end of the day, do I feel like if you are somebody who is paying for that content, at this point you should know what you're gonna get? Yes. like that's why I wouldn't pay for that content, you know, Diva? Like I'm not gonna pay for something that I know I'm gonna be unhappy with the end product of. So I don't choose to pay for that. But I do think it's reasonable that people have critiques of that. Quite honestly, truly. And I think, like, part of it is because Rosie wants to be taken so seriously. And it's like, all right, I'll take you seriously once you start taking yourself seriously, Diva. Oh my god, I gotta stop touching my hair.
They're just finding any tiny crack that they can try to rip open. Because I'm not a scammer. I've never scammed. That's just a lie. That is a blatant lie. I would never accept that as a reality.
Who's saying it? I guess... who's saying I guess you're kind of scamming. I could see where that would come from, but did somebody in her chat say that? Because again, at this point, if you've been around long enough, you know what you're getting with Rosie. I do see why people might feel like she's scamming them because she's made a lot of promises. Like, she promised Texas-specific content while she was there and never gave it, for example.
It's just like... so much of it just gets rooted in, like, the anger so many people put towards people who make income in unconventional ways, like live streaming or social media or influencing. I'm not saying I'm an influencer, who's the example. Because I don't really consider myself like an influencer. I think it's like an influencer is like a certain description. I would say I'm a content creator streamer, you know? But
sure.
TMI warning for my
Oh, God.
I'm going to say it in soft language, but just for warning, TMI. This morning, or early afternoon, when I got in the shower, I had been up for a while, but I hadn't eaten yet. And I woke up in, like, a great amount of pain. And it got a little better as, like, time passed. And I was like, okay, cool. I get up, and I get in the shower, and I'm showering, and I suddenly got hit with a huge wave of nerve pain. Huge wave of pain. It's like, okay, I finished up, and I was like, because it was like near the very end. Like, I was already almost done anyway. And I get out, and as I'm getting out, you gotta like dry off. You gotta do I didn't want to just like immediately sit down and get my bearings because, like, I just want to make sure I took care of myself properly, right? Like, because if you don't dry yourself properly, especially at my size, that can lead to really serious complications. So I'm very stringent on certain routines I have, which is how I've made it this far without ever having to worry about, like, I've never been hospitalized for things like sepsis or things like that because my mother really, like, drilled it in my head growing up, and also a little bit of luck, right? But it was to the point, like, as I was drying off, like, the pain got so serious. I, like, this morning, like,
You threw up.
I was just glad I hadn't eaten, because if that had happened, and I had eaten, I would have canceled my live today. Today would have been canceled. Because y'all know about me and my emetophobia. And so I had to deal with that emotionally afterwards, too, because, like, the emetophobia.
That was the TMI warning? Is that you threw up? Okay, Diva. All right. I don't know, what was that? Was the phobia that she just mentioned a phobia of throwing up? I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, there's, like, phobias of everything, so I'm not saying it's not real. I just had never heard of that before. Had never heard about that before. I believe it much more than her story of, like, her taking her cleanliness so seriously. Like, that, I don't know. I'm sure there's, like, some part of her that's, like, I have to, like, really go into detail about how much I took time and care and energy to, like, dry myself off. But it was, like, I don't know. it was giving, like, things that didn't really happen. And I don't know, maybe I'm just jaded because of the number of times that, like, Amberlynn's gone out of her way to really, like, over-explain her showering and things like that. And like, why was her mother instilling in her from a young age, her mother being Rosie's mother, instilling in her from a young age that it's really important to, like, clean yourself and things like, well, yes, yeah. I mean, like, most of our parents taught us how to make sure we cleaned ourselves. Like, I don't know. That felt like way more TMI than any of the rest of the story.
And it's just, like, that's actually not happened to me before. To my memory, to my knowledge, like, I don't remember that happening ever. And I'm just kind of like, it was so rapid and, like, on set, and then, like, once I took a break, like, I was better. It was just crazy. Like, I'm just stressed and kind of freaking out about it. Yeah, so today's just been difficult.
God, the music is so loud. It really makes no sense because I know she knows how shitty her audio is. Like, she fully tried to buy microphones to try to make it better, and they didn't work, or she couldn't figure out how to make them work. So I know she knows her audio is bad.
This is not another 3-week ordeal because I can't do that again.
Like, I can't, like, all respect to Jane, but because I know Jane tried her best to like, fix the audio here, but no shade to Jane. Like, it's just literally, I don't even know what she's saying, because the audio is just that level of bad.
I can't, BT Dubs, I'm sorry.
BT Dub says, can you share what your business meeting / project was about? It sounds exciting. Girl, if she ends up on another TV show or something, I can't wait, because it's really just going to prove how insufferable Rosie is to a larger audience. But 2, she's going to be insufferable, so that's, like, the con. that's the con.
I can't. But it is exciting. God, is it exciting. It's been in the works for a while.
Oh, yeah?
I have no time frame. BT could be sometime next year.
Let's go.
Like I told y'all a while back, I'm learning how to move a lot more quietly. Sometimes it's not silence. Sometimes I'll whisper things here and there. But I am learning how to move in silence. And I like it.
The only silence that she's been able to do thus far is when she had an NDA, which was the only way she was able to be quiet about the docuseries And I imagine that this is something like that too, where it's like, if you talk about this, you will no longer have this opportunity, so don't talk about it. Otherwise, she's not moving in silence. She's letting us know every time somebody harasses her and stalks her. She's telling us most of her moves and everything. She's literally sitting here yapping about Remy and sharing all these things about him. Like, no, you're moving loudly. Very loudly.
Can you see if it's as big or as documentary or if it's smaller?
I'm moving in silence. What is that little smirk?
That's our response. Does it have anything to do with airplanes? Maybe. Asking when everything happened. I would work with them again because...
Diva, would you just stop? Like if you don't, and this is what I mean when I say she doesn't know how to move in silence, because she could just simply not answer. Although it's probably hard because I've heard that her members only live streams only have like 3 people ever talking in them. So it's probably a little bit harder to ignore people who are paying to be there and there's only a few of them trying to ask you questions. But it's like, girl, just shut it down and be like, yeah, I'm not answering questions. Instead, you're sitting here smirking, giving like little responses here and there. It's like you can tell she wants to talk about it so bad, but she knows she got some kind of NDA that she's not allowed to talk about it yet. Bonus Sandwich says, would you ever work with the same network as the doc again, or would you pass given everything that happened?
Again, that doc wasn't about me.
Right.
So if there was a project where they feel like they could highlight me in a more significant manner that makes more sense to the topic of the project, then yeah, I would.
Yeah, if they're willing to make everything about me, like it should be, I'd work with them.
My experience working with them wasn't bad. I don't like how a lot of the stuff that happened, like post-edit, is from people in
it's from Girl
executives
World.
that never met me and I never met them, you know what I mean? Oh, I need to actually make that. I never followed through that video. Need to
Wait, this person said...
You know what I mean? Oh, I need to actually make
This person said, did you ever post the vlog about the difference in Southwest when flying with the person of size policy? I looked but wasn't sure. Somebody told me, actually, that Southwest has already changed their policy again, so any kind of info she has about that wouldn't even be relevant anymore because they've already made amendments to their policy.
That. I never followed through that video. I made a bunch of notes. I got the results back a little while ago, and then life kept happening. And now I finished the Texas vlogs. But there's also been an update to the policy from when I was new too. So it's a good update for plus size passengers. I want a Quirky Love Rose documentary. That's crazy.
Nobody wants a Quirky Love Rose documentary.
That's super fair. I imagine there's decisions made by higher ups that maybe people working on the doc directly don't agree with. Exactly. And so, and again, that documentary wasn't about me. So I feel like it would be really good.
You're the only one that's just now figuring that out, Rosie. the rest of us have been very aware that documentary wasn't about you.
It's typical of me to be offended that they didn't include me more, you know?
But you were. You literally said that you were confused why they didn't include you more. She's so silly. I will say she's very aware when the tides have shifted, and you can always tell because she starts changing the ways that she's talking about stuff. So now all of a sudden that documentary is never about me. Well, that's not what you thought. That's not how you were acting and moving.
I'm not. I had my feelings about it, but I'm not mad or offended, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
think that was weird of me. I was bummed. I was frustrated that the way that clip was used and then not expanded upon, right? That was my biggest hang up, is how that was not expanded on. I'm talking with a minute's worth of footage, right? I'm not saying it needed to be its own goddamn episode, but I'm just saying Just
Oh, okay.
like, we're gonna use
So you were upset then. So you were upset that they didn't include more of your story. Okay, but it's not about you. But you don't understand why they didn't get more. Oh, okay. Yeah. Of course.
you say in the trailer. Why is it not expanded upon? That even on a production side confuses me. But
well, producer Rosie Lynn Reed, you got to start producing these things. You got to start producing documentaries since you clearly know so much about them and how the story should be told.
in terms of like me feeling jilted or anything like that, I don't feel like that at all. Can you explain to me about the pain? Where is it? And sharp stabbing pain? Question mark. What hurts the most? I have answered this a few times, but I'll explain it again. It's not a problem. So I talked about it like when I was.
Oh my
in
god,
right?
the way she went. Did y'all see how she went? Like, even just me doing that in my chair right now in this moment, I was like, oh god, girl, I hope I don't break anything. I'm 6'2", like 250 something. Like, oh my god, girl, I'm worried I was gonna hurt that whatever she's sitting on. Kudos to her. That chair's body is tea, or whatever the kids say.
How I was sore, but it didn't feel like pain flare. I've talked about like fat pain and what that feels like, and that's just the daily like pain that I deal with because of my size. That pain I'm used to. That pain is painful, but like it just is, right? My pain flares are nerve pain. Right now, I'm not exaggerating when I say that the pain is from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. It radiates the most from every joint in my body. So, right now, where my head connects to my neck, my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists, my fingers, my toes, my feet, my ankles, my knees, my hips, my back.
Throw it all away and start over. It reminds me, I've told this story before. I don't know if I've told it in a YouTube video or just on Twitch, but I know at some point I told this story. But when I was a little kid, I remember one time I was feeling so just cruddy as a little kid, and so my mom took me to our family doctor, and he was asking me like questions about like what hurt, what the problem was, and I'd listed just so many things that were wrong with me, and he went, well, do your teeth itch? And me being a little kid, I was like, what do you mean? Like, no, my teeth don't itch. And he's like, well, everything else is wrong with you. So, Rosie, do your teeth itch? I'm concerned. No, but for real, I'm also just like, I don't know. Listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to say what is or isn't wrong with Rosie. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? If we're just to trust her word on things, like, everything is wrong with her. But it is interesting that she's talking about, like, everyday fat pain versus nerve pain. Like, that's interesting to me as a concept. And it's interesting to acknowledge that I think she's differentiating, because a lot of times when she's talked about her pain, people would be like, well, just lose weight. And she's like, well, this isn't just fat pain, I guess is what she's trying to say. But that is to say that, like, well, then why wouldn't we want, like, if we are crediting some level of pain that we have on a day-to-day basis, then why wouldn't we want to try to do something to alleviate that pain, you know? Like, if we're acknowledging that, I just think that one of the problems that it feels like sometimes when listening to Rosie talk about any of the things that she's claimed to be diagnosed with is that she just wants to say that it's a problem. It doesn't ever feel like she really wants to do anything about it. And it's just like, yeah, if you have things that you feel like are due to being fat, like if you feel like you have pain due to that, then, like, why not try to make some adjustments to that to alleviate that pain, so then you only have to do with an occasional pain flare? Because if you're telling me you have nerve pain on top of what you're calling just fat pain, then yeah, imagine having all that pain on a regular basis is tough. So like, if you don't feel like you can do anything about the nerve pain, like let's get to when it comes to the fat pain. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too logically about things.
Or when it hurts the most. I mean, I can feel it in my forearms, I can feel it in my triceps, I can feel it in my torso, I can feel it throughout my legs. I have a mild headache.
Been there.
I am at a solid 8 to 9 right now.
Well, I do just want to say then, like, of course you know you and your body better than I do, but like, you managed at an 8 or 9 out of 10 pain level, you've managed to come onto live stream and not only just talk while you're on live stream, but sit here and fold like laundry and stuff while you're live streaming. And I don't say this to like belittle your pain. I say this to say like, what's to keep you from in the future doing even less on a live stream? Like just sitting there talking to your audience.
And a lot of the reason why people think I'm lying is because I act like this when I'm in this much pain. Because I'm used to it. But the longer the pain and its intensity sticks around without a break, the worse my mental health gets. What type of pain? I would say it was nerve pain. It was like nerve pain.
Not fat pain.
Inflammation type pain. And years ago, I had really concerning blood markers for it, and I was working with a rheumatologist.
I also just say that when it comes to inflammation and stuff like that, a lot of inflammation is caused just from anecdotal experiences of people in my life and things like that. But a lot of inflammation problems are caused by weight. Not to say that's what her problem is. I'm just saying, like, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Lost matrix. And I believe it's fibromyalgia. I had eliminated a lot of stuff. We eliminated lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, all this stuff. At one point, I got checked for blood cancer. Thank God that wasn't the problem.
I remember that. I remember that too. She was very dramatic about that. Also, wasn't she the one that said she wasn't going to come on here and talk about her health anymore? I guess she probably just means her health in relation to like eating and things like that.
And if I didn't have it, it was terrifying. I don't talk about that very much because I didn't have cancer, so I don't want to like come off like I'm trying to, I don't know, get sympathy or whatever. It's just like, that was an experience I had.
And the fact that you're still here doing a live, that's amazing, Rosie. Sure. No, I think it's like, I know there's an opportunity to be snarky there about that, but I really think she should listen to what I just said, which is like, oh wow, look at all you're able to accomplish. Maybe we don't always have to cancel a live stream. Like you still have the opportunity to come online and do this.
And the fact you're still here doing a live is amazing, Rosie. Yeah, thank you, gamer girl.
I mean, I'm not gonna like go out of my way to like pat her on the back for it, but I'm just saying like, oh, you are capable of it. You can do it.
Thank you for explaining. No problem. Because a lot of times I don't have a choice and I have to cancel things or do whatever. But I feel like I'm in a space where I can function enough. I've been trying to talk about other stuff too, not hyper focus on it.
I also just want to say though, I'm still mad because I feel like I need to go double check what I'm saying because I don't feel like I recall her actually saying that she was canceling the Friday live stream because of, oh gosh, I put the wrong password into my desktop. I don't remember her saying that pain was the reason she was canceling it. She said it was scheduling conflicts, right? Right? Let me go look at the post. Let me go look at it. Oh, wait, it was a members only post. Oh God, I don't know where that is. I do have it somewhere, but I don't have it readily accessible, so I don't know. I'll just have to stay in the dark about it.
But at the longer I'm live, the worse it's getting, so. And that's the problem with that, right? And that's one of the reasons why I don't normally schedule live. It's one of the reasons why I have had to make some amendments from what I originally started with, right? don't have a choice.
I really do think also she would be just better off in not having to have all of these arguments with people about, like, canceling lives and stuff if she would just choose to go live whenever she wants, you know? like, don't schedule something, don't have it planned in advance, like, just don't schedule it. It's okay if you sometimes have to cancel. I again, it's something I've done before as well. Like, I'm not judging her for that, but it's clear that the kind of accommodation that she needs is to just go live on her own terms and her own account whenever she wants to or feels like she's able to. There'd be far less, like, complaining from people if she just didn't overpromise.
Because of my size. My self-care just gets chalked up to laziness. I wish I didn't have to rest so much. And it scares the shit out of me that I did so little in the pool this year. And I don't know if that caused this pain flare. I don't know if it's just a coincidence. How the hell am I supposed to get healthier and move my body more? And I'm not talking about it, but I'm trying. I've lost a little bit. I'm just focusing on the things that I can with my money stuff and everything. Oh, Rosie, you gotta stop. You're sharing too much. Let's reset. I'm gonna go to the kitchen.
So she thinks when she was just, like, standing in the pool the other day that's what caused her pain flare? I don't know what to tell her. I really don't. I mean, I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know what to offer her in terms of advice. But, like, being in the pool is supposed to be, like, swimming and stuff like that is supposed to be something that is easier on, like, your joints and inflammation and things like that. And so, yeah, I don't know what to tell you either, girl. It almost seems like back when you went to Vegas and you got done filming your vlogs for the Vegas experience and you said, wow, I really need to do something. And then you came back and you, like, convinced somebody to buy you a rollator on the internet and then you never used the rollator or things like that. Like, it seems like you should have started taking this seriously, like, months ago, but instead now here we are. I don't know. That does seem really sad. I also am not convinced that she, like, did a ton of stuff in the pool that day that would really have gotten something irritated, but what do I know?
I'm not upset about that or the question, just the reality of the answer. I think, like, the other thing is I actually have posted 2 of them, but I don't post TikToks a ton. And some on this day, TikToks started popping up.
Not the TikToks.
And they were from when I did these ones in my room, like, 2 years ago. I'm, like, dancing and whatever, and I did these different sounds or whatever. And I was just watching them and I was like, I've been wanting to make more TikToks for, like, 2 weeks, and I just haven't been able to. I don't really want to.
Well, just do it.
So,
girl, what is stopping you from making some TikToks? I'm sorry, ain't nothing she's done on TikTok ever been, like, that crazy, like, physically exerting. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. And I also just, like, I honestly don't know what she, like, is she just hoping somebody will come over with a magic wand and make all of this happen? Like, you gotta start making slow moves. Like, you gotta start just, like, making small changes to make some movement and stuff in your life. Nothing's gonna change if we just keep sitting here in our rolly chair in our kitchen eating bowls of ramen noodles that are bigger than our head. Like no shade. It's just, like, logically, you gotta do something. And it is probably gonna be painful to move because, like you said, you have fat pain. It is hard when your body is that big to move in any kind of way that isn't painful. it seems like it would be really helpful if you spent some kind of, instead of getting 6 bottles of ketchup, I know that's like the hee ha ha, right? Like, I know she's not always buying 6 bottles of ketchup, but she buys all these things, this huge amounts of foods in bulk, which she has freezers and fridges full of food that she could eat at home. Maybe instead of spending all that, let's start seeing a physical therapist. Let's go to the doctor. You can still invest in some of these things that aren't, like, financially related. Or financially related, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they might be a large expense, but let's cut back somewhere else. Eat the food you already have at home. I don't know. Like, this members only live is actually just kind of sad, to be honest. Like, this is not fun, funky, or fresh, or whatever she says at all.
Just know the day I start posting more TikToks, I'm very happy and excited about it. Because that meant I felt good. I don't know when y'all are gonna see.
Why does she always have something spilled on her? Why is that one side of her chest just covered in some kind of liquid that is spilled on her shirt?
Remy again and alive. That poor guy.
Oh, brother.
I talked about it a little bit in my last public live.
Oh, brother.
But he has this bitch of a professor.
Girl, shut up. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy that she would talk about this person who she doesn't even personally know, hasn't even personally experienced, and she's just upset because Remy has to do schoolwork. Because she doesn't know what it's like to have, like, responsibilities outside of sitting in a live stream for a few hours once a week. Like, please be so serious, Diva.
And he did not mean to take her class again. And then to top it off, this class, because, like, he's, this is his, like, final year in school. He's been in college for a long time. He's never had a professor like this intense before.
How do you know? You met him 5 months ago.
She took, like, a really intense workload for, like, basically an 8-week class and cut it down to 4 weeks. The way
That is how summer classes work. Somebody in your own chat told you that.
Structured is crazy. And, like, this past week was a lot for him, and he found out yesterday what his next week is gonna look like, and somehow it's crazy.
Are you telling me this professor didn't give him a syllabus? I ain't never been in a college class where they didn't provide a syllabus with an outline of what the work was gonna look like for the entire semester. Please be so serious. Rosie, is it possible that he's just exaggerating how bad this is so he doesn't have to talk to your ass? Like, I don't know. I need you to stop complaining on his behalf, because I don't give a shit. I really don't. Like, you're gonna find it real hard for me to have sympathy with Remy about having to take do a lot of homework and stuff during a summer class, a 4-week summer class. Girl, that's what you sign up for. That's what 4-week summer classes are in college. Like, I don't think this is news to anybody who's attended college before and has taken summer classes. It really isn't.
Because I read, like, the first sentence or two of someone's comment, and then I stopped because I was like, this is dumb. Because someone was just bitching about how, because I said in passing that, like, I mentioned to him that he should leave a review of this professor so other people know, which I said when he brought up leaving a review, and I agree with him. I just didn't word it that way. And I was just saying here, like, you guys, I'm not giving all the details, because, like, I don't want it to become easy.
I'm not giving all the details. There's totally, even though I've already told you all so much, there's totally stuff I've left out. I'm not giving all the details. Girl, please be quiet with your revisionist history. Of course, now that people are calling you out for being a whiny Karen about a class you're not even taking, of course you're like, oh no, there's more to the story, I just haven't shared it. Bullshit, be quiet. Be quiet, Rosie.
Figure anything out because there is a scene. It's just crazy to me. The hoops people jump through to try to prove a point.
No, nobody's humping. Nobody's jumping through hoops. I combined the word jumping with hoops and it turned into humping. That's crazy. And nobody's jumping through hoops. With the information you provided alone, if there's more to the story, then I need to hear about the actual atrocious, awful things that this professor has done. Because just strictly on what you shared, you're being a whiny Karen. You're being an absolute whiny Karen about it for some shit that doesn't even impact you outside of not being able to sit in a Discord voice chat with your boyfriend for hours on end.
It doesn't need to be proven. And it's just a chronic problem on the internet. Trying to prepare for some stuff in my life, and I'm just like, I'm just working on things.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just trying to like, especially like when it comes to food and stuff, I'm just trying to focus on portions. Like I'm not.
I can tell from that that bowl of ramen you had the other day.
Doing anything. I'm just trying to focus on portions and just making sure I'm incorporating produce into my diet. Those are my main focuses because it just helps as I work on like decreasing certain behaviors and habits, and then eventually.
Also, again, I thought we weren't talking about this shit on the internet. I guess not though.
To eliminate things like that, because I have found that I have the most success when I move very slow, and when I focus on behaviors, and when I focus on harm reduction. I'm a little more open about it, I think, in members only, because like, I honestly know people for screen record shit, do whatever, but there is a lot happening in my life that I want, like my old habits, like my want is to sit here and just like pour my heart out.
Let's do it.
Honest, share everything. And I've just learned how dangerous that is. I struggle so much nowadays with like, I feel like the reality of my presence online and how I'm regarded, and I am struggling to accept it. I feel even still to this day, but
accept what?
But I'm getting there, and any of the frustration I express, any anger, what have you, it doesn't negate the joy and like the good that's come from what I do in my life and on social media, the support and the kindness and the really cool shit that's happened in my life from it. I really want to talk about something else. But I'm sitting here and I'm like actively trying to think of other things to talk about, distract myself, and I'm just having one of those days where I feel consumed by it.
What?
I want a clean kitchen. I want to take care of this. So.
Well, let's Diva, let's do it. Diva, let's do it.
I guess I wish what more people took into consideration is that everyone's hearts are different. Like what's hard for one person
sure
can be like really easy for another, you know?
Well,
like,
yeah, of course, absolutely, in agreement. I think, however, though, etc. You are a public figure who comes onto the internet and wants sympathy and empathy and understanding, and for people to care about your excuses and things like that from people who are not on your level whatsoever, who or some people who are on your level and don't have what you have, right? And so I think similarly, you have to understand that that's probably where a lot of people are coming from. Somebody in her chat even, talked about like, well, I have fibromyalgia, so I like understand where you're coming from. There's lots of people who have fibromyalgia who don't have the luxuries that Rosie does. And so I think just in the same way that she's like, well, everybody needs to acknowledge that my hard might be different than your hard, you also need to acknowledge that people feel like they have the same situation and issues as you, but they don't have what you have, which is the ability to live stream for a few hours a week and call that their job.
Like what's really easy.
And also a home provided to them by their parents, a brother that works full-time and is able to also provide for the family and things like that.
For most people, can be like really difficult for others, mentally, physically, or otherwise, right?
Okay, so this is another new live stream, and I think this was from just yesterday, and it's called "I Guess I'm on a Ramen Kick Right Now." LOL. Peanut sauced ramen Sunday lunch vibes, and I definitely haven't seen any of this.
Myself into this not being a pain flare, but it is in fact very much pain flare that I'm dealing with today.
And yet we're still live streaming. Why did she keeps unpeeling these sweet potatoes that look like fucking huge ass turds?
Honestly, maybe with it, not particularly. I mean, I'm okay in the sense that like
it just looks so gross.
This is not new.
I just wish that she could learn to cook food in an appetizing way. It does not look good.
Just dealing with my chronic shit. So yeah, I'm having to deal with trolls right now. So, sodium does not impact my flare-ups.
Karen Lee said all that sodium definitely will cause flare-ups. You know, it's interesting. She says it doesn't impact her flare-ups, but sodium does impact like inflammation and things like that. So it's just another one of those things where it's like, well, it couldn't hurt to maybe eat a little less ramen, but what do I know?
Frankly, kiss my ass.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's Father's Day. It's Sunday. Oh shit. To be fair to me, it's midday, but still, I did not see a single Father's Day post on TikTok. How did I not know that? There's a lot happening in that.
The concept of only knowing it's Father's Day because you saw posts about it on TikTok. It's just, again, a sign of, like, the only reason that Rosie knows anything is because she's chronically online and not because she's, like, actually out in the world living and experiencing things.
My life right now, like, a lot. And I know that, people can be, like, skeptical of that, but it's true. And, oh my god, I wish I could talk about it. Because every time I think about, like, what I want to talk about, that's what pops in my head. Because
she really is becoming Amber Lynn in that sense. Towards the end of when Amber Lynn was like actually still vlogging, and even before she just started like live streaming incessantly, back when she was still vlogging, it was always like, I want to talk about something, but I can't talk about it. I want to talk about something. I'm going through so much, but I can't talk about it. And I get it. It probably really is the best for all parties involved to not talk about something. But then it's like, if your content is talking about your life, like if that is what you're claiming you do on the internet, then like figure out something to talk about. And like the reality is when your life involves just sitting in a rolly chair in your kitchen and talking to your boyfriend on Discord for hours on end, then yeah, you probably are limited in what you can talk about. And it's just so interesting to me because it was just the other day I was reacting to her talking about how reactors' lives are so uninteresting that we could never vlog about them. And it's like, well, what exactly then is interesting about your life? I mean, I find entertainment in it. Don't get me wrong. I'm here. I'm tuning in. But it's just so interesting because there are a number of things that I personally no longer share about my life either, for probably similar reasons to Rosie. But I can still, like, on my Twitch live streams find things to talk about from my life that don't like, violate the boundaries that I've created, you know? So, I don't know, just something to think about. Maybe if there were other things going on in your life, you could talk about them.
There's just like a lot happening behind the scenes in my life at this point.
Right,
and
right.
I want to yap about it.
Start yapping.
Well, I guess what I do want to say is that I'm really excited for this year.
Oh, good.
If you think my boyfriend is a misogynist, you're a fucking idiot. I'm just gonna leave that there, but no.
Listen, I still stand by, like, I think there's a capacity for Remy to like grow as he explores what it means to be queer, maybe explores his own gender identity and expression, and things like that. I also want to say that, like, the things he said were misogynistic, right? Like, I was never intending to give him a pass on that. And I think even when he doubled down on it, I'm like, you got a lot of work to still do. And so I think it's one of those things where, like, Rosie can be like, no, he's not misogynistic, but certainly his behavior in that situation was misogynistic and could be characterized as misogyny, right? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people get all worked up like, I'm not a misogynist. Okay, maybe you aren't, but what you said was misogynist. And I think, like, not acknowledging that his ways are problematic are gonna be the things that he will continue to enable him to think that way. Because, again, Rosie's a weenie. She ain't never gonna actually really, like, come down hard on somebody until, God forbid, one day she breaks up with Remy and she's like, yeah, I shouldn't have defended him in that situation. Just like once she had bad blood with Amber Lynn again, she was like, I should have never defended Amber Lynn's transphobia. But here we are. Anita Berger says, are you not allowed to talk about it? Like an NDA thing, like the doc?
It's just some of it's personal business, some of it's bigger picture stuff that I can't share without sharing things that shouldn't be public, stuff like that. You know, it's just, like, crazy to me. I've seen a couple of things referencing that, and I just ignore them because when I really love someone, it's really easy for me to get fierce, and I don't need to be putting out that energy and all that stuff, but my boyfriend shared a thought that I didn't agree with. I didn't agree with his take there, and I said that, and we also had more conversations afterwards about it, you know? But it's wild to me, it is insane to me that someone just making a statement that they think a certain trait is masculine is misogynistic. That is just an abuse of what that word means. Like,
Rosie would know about abusing what words actually mean with how often she throws things around, like the word grooming, for instance. But, you know, it is what it is.
Good God. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't agree with it either. And we had a more in-depth conversation about it after that.
There you go.
Because, frankly, he was just talking from his own perspective. He's not used to an audience critiquing his thoughts and opinions, right? So he was just talking off the cuff on something that he probably didn't even think through as well, which seemed kind of clear to me after.
Well, it seems like he thought it through because when you asked him about it again, he doubled down on it. So if his thoughts and opinions have changed, I would love to hear from Remy. Like I said, I know a lot of people aren't willing to, like, give him room to grow. But if he wanted to come on here and be like, you know what, I really thought about it and the ways that I was thinking about that were fucked up, I would personally, for me, and again, as somebody who not socialized as a woman, does not identify as a woman, not for me to accept any kind of apology about that. But I would say, like, you know what, I think we can all move on. Like, this is the best we're going to get from him. But the reality is all we've seen is him double down on it twice. Him say, I agree with this twice. And I think that's why people are just pushing you on it.
Our further conversations about it. Because I don't even think leadership has a masculine or feminine quality to it. You know, it's just a trait. Like, that's my stance on that. But to say it's misogynistic is crazy. That's crazy to me. That is just...
You don't think there's a world where it's misogynistic to be like, I'm the masculine one in this relationship because I'm a leader. Because I do hard labor and work, and Rosie doesn't do those things because she's a woman. Like, what? I don't think it's like a huge leap to make in that situation.
Pearl clutching to find drama to incite in my content from a nothing burger of a situation.
She thinks everything is pearl clutching. Like, if we were really talking about, like, pearl clutching and, like, nitpicking and inciting, drama over nothing, people would be out here making nothing burgers out of stuff that was actually a nothing burger. I think there is appropriate amounts of conversation happening around Remy's weird views around masculinity when it comes to leadership, hard labor, etc. I think that's exactly the kind of thing worthy of discourse. I think that there's all kinds of things that, you know, we could critique of, like, why is it important to bring up when it comes to Amberlynn, Rosie, and Chantal, but discussing her boyfriend's view on masculinity, I think, is an important conversation. I think it's good for us to have these conversations. The only way we make forward movement in the ways that people think about masculinity and toxic masculinity and things like that is if we have conversations about them. I mean, I am even grateful for the people having dialogue with me. I don't necessarily, like I mentioned, there's that one person that I had dialogue with. I didn't necessarily understand where they're coming from, but, like, I think it's important that even people want to, like, question me and my thoughts about this situation, because we need to have those if we want to be honest about the ways that we view men and this world and this society.
You know, that's all it is. And it's exhausting and stupid, and I just have no patience for it.
It's just an easy way for her to, like, avoid accountability if she just makes everything about, like, oh, people are just trying to incite drama. People are just trying to, like, nitpick with me. No, like, this is again where she's unable to really process, like, what is good feedback versus what isn't, which is a hard skill on the internet as somebody who's struggled with that from time to time as well. But she's irritating. I'm irrigated. Are we almost done? We got about 5 minutes left.
I'm wrong. In case I'm wrong, can you, like, I'm going to ask this genuinely. Can you explain to me how it's misogynistic?
I hope somebody explains.
Let me start there. Let me question myself for a second.
Okay.
My own bias is in the way here. I would like to, I'm going to genuinely ask you that question. How? I disagree. I'm open-minded. I'm opening my mind to the concept of being wrong. So I'm asking. I'm asking a genuine question.
I'm just asking a genuine question.
I'm willing to learn. And I'm willing to see if my opinion on that is wrong. Because I think a lot of people don't see leadership roles as gendered, and so maybe him saying he sees it as a masculine trait is making it gendered and it seems misogynistic.
I think that's a good place to start. I think that's a good place to start because Rosie also said, like, I don't see it as something that's gendered. And the fact that he does think it's something that's related to, like, masculine expression and not feminine expression, I think is an issue. That's, like, what people are saying.
Like, just inherently viewing it from a gender perspective would make it misogynistic because you're prioritizing that trait in men over women. Okay.
Her trying to bring herself to agree with this person.
Well, that's uncomfortable to think about.
Why?
The statement itself was so misogynistic, even if he was. Because, I mean, clearly it's easy for men to have a bias and not realize that, like, they're holding an opinion that benefits them, right? Yeah, that's a good point. Right. So if you talk privately, I think the audience was left with the stance that he's last said publicly since he's not on your lives, since he's been on your lives and changed they're going to question because it was unsaid. That is fair.
Right. Oh my gosh. It's almost like all of these people have fair points. That's crazy. I also said that earlier, right? Like, yeah, well, if the last time we heard him was him just doubling down on it, but you claim that you've talked about it further and he has a different take on it. We haven't heard that take. We can't read his mind or your mind.
That's fair. I think I was quick to be defensive.
Well, yes.
Because I knew his intentions were, but that doesn't change the impact. And I say that all the time.
Right? Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, to be honest. He was military, yes. And that's kind of what the conversation stemmed from, and that's what we talked a lot more about privately. Because, yes, he's ex-military. And that is why he had that opinion. From his own skewed perspective, right?
To be honest, how you talked about Remy's teacher was very misogynistic too, but you weren't ready for that conversation. I could see how people would feel that way. People feel very strongly about the word bitch, and it's something even like I've taken feedback on and tried to use less. But she did very strongly, refer to Remy's professor as a bitch, and I could see where people would take that perspective as well.
How the fuck did... Y'all are exhausting.
And now, she really isn't ready for that conversation either. She really isn't. She's back to, like, getting defensive again. Like, she already got defensive over people saying that Remy was misogynistic.
Y'all are exhausting. Yeah, y'all are exhausting.
Hey, did y'all hear? You're exhausting.
People from reaction channels and shit, y'all are fucking exhausting.
It's always, anytime anybody has something to disagree with her about, it's because y'all came from reaction channels. You are exhausting.
I just sat here and reevaluated my opinion, and I want to look more into it. Call her a bitch, because she is one.
If youth is an excuse for why are you at 34 calling a teacher a bitch for doing her job? Okay, that's what that psychotic person... I'm not calling that person psychotic, that's what their name is in chat. That's what their response was to follow up about the professor's statement.
Opinion. And I want to look more into it. Call her a bitch, because she is one, bro. I didn't share everything.
No, she doesn't understand that that's why people are perceiving her comments about that woman as being misogynistic. So here we go. Heaven forbid a woman do her job, you know? Heaven forbid she do the thing that she was paid for, or is getting paid to do.
I'm gonna try putting on fake nails. I might regret it. But I want to feel pretty. Guys, my family is impacted by my harassment too. So if they're not around as much, I want you to think about that. They are also affected by the real life harassment I deal with. So if they're not particularly interested in interacting with my lives, that is a very fair stance for them to have.
Okay, first of all, the person that commented just said it's mountain bike, which is somebody who's frequently in her chats and very supportive of her, said, "Is Levi doing okay? Hope his transportation to work is going okay. I haven't seen him in your lives and just wanted to say hi to him." I don't know why she's getting so defensive. This person just seemed to be showing genuine, like, hey, is he okay? Kind of vibes. Jesus, Rosie, you say we're exhausting.
It sucks for all of us, including my supporters. I had to contact them yesterday because something else happened. I know. I'm well the fuck aware. They don't give a fuck. Unless I'm dead, they don't care. So, welcome to the reality of America, man. I don't know what to tell you. When you went to Las Vegas, you said a phrase that really stuck with me. I'm scared, but I'm doing it. And yeah, be scared and do it anyways. Yeah, that was one of the mantras I was wanting to get to. There is, be afraid and do it anyways. That's my mantra. Be afraid and do it anyways. Because I have severe anxiety issues. Like, serious. As much as people want to make fun of the agoraphobia stuff, I haven't left my house since before my mom left. And the couple times I've tried, I've had panic attacks. So.
People, listen, I'm sure agoraphobia, just like everything else you deal with, is a spectrum. But, like, people bring up the agoraphobia stuff because it's only a problem when it involves leaving your house for something you maybe don't want to do. Doesn't seem to be a problem for you going to visit Remy in Texas. Didn't seem to be a problem to get on a plane and go to Las Vegas to film business opportunities, as you described it. So I think that's the only reason people are skeptical of your agoraphobia, girl.
It got so bad, I delayed going into the pool for a hot minute because I didn't want to spend time outside. So, yeah, I have really severe anxiety issues.
I'm glad I did this. I feel happier already. Self-care in the smallest of ways can just be really good pick-me-up. Because, self-care is obviously things like showering. You can be like feeding yourself, cooking for yourself. you know, cleaning up your environment, all of that. Very important self-care. But sometimes things like this, face masks, makeup, things like that, can be a version of self-care that just like a little pick-me-up.
Uh-huh.
I feel better.
Oh,
You're pretty.
she's so dramatic. The long stares at her nails. The deep breaths. Just so wild.
Hey, you guys. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. I'll see y'all around.
Oh, that's it. Oh, thank God. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. First you're ready, then you're closed. That's all I have time for today. It's a long one. And it's probably always going to be long, especially when I'm watching clips from multiple streams. But most of you seem to enjoy it. So thanks so much for sticking around this long, divas. If you are brand new here, consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!